Hi, I'm James Shillinglaw for Insider Travel Report, and I'm here finally at the Waldorf Astoria, New York, which has only been open for a few weeks now. I'm here with the managing director, Luigi Romagnolo, who is I've talked with in ILTM, and we agreed we'd come and do an interview here when he started up, and now he has started, and you're going to hear from him. You're going to hear from the partner chef and a whole lot more, and find out all about this wonderfully restored and beautiful new property, Waldorf Astoria, New York, on Insider Travel Report. Luigi, first of all, thank you so much for interviewing with me on this. I know you're a busy guy these days with all that's going on here.
It's been so much fun, James. And by the way, thank you for being here as well.
Okay, and so let's talk a little bit about it. It took a long time for this restoration, almost like 8 years, I think, to get it fully done. Why so long?
You know, all great things are worth the wait, for sure, James. And this one, I'll tell you, was such an incredible, I don't want to call it a renovation, it was a complete restoration. Mm-hmm. If anything, it was like a transformation, because it went, imagine, from being 1,400 rooms into 375 beautiful appointed rooms and suites. Mm-hmm. And then we added 372 residences on top of that. So this is for the very, very first time in the history of Waldorf Astoria, New York, that you can actually buy a piece of the hotel, the residence.
That's amazing. And you have the work you had to do was so meticulous in every part of the hotel, restoration, refurbishment, but you also included many of the very famous features. I think, what happened when they sort of went behind the walls? They still realized they had a lot of work to do, right?
Imagine, restoring 1.6 million square feet. Because we are an entire city block, so you're right. I mean, some of the places, like for example, in the Basil Room, we literally had to go look at an original postcard and looking at the original colors and replicate the colors as they were in 1931. And then you go, let's say, to the Jade Room. These are all these beautiful celebration rooms that we have on the 4th floor. On the Jade Room, we go over there, and we found these beautiful columns that they were kind of hidden, behind the, this wall that was not supposed to be there. Through the years, they built it up, and they hid these beautiful marble columns and some gorgeous windows that they were there. So lots of surprises along the way, for sure.
But you kept some Peacock Alley. The famous clock is back. It still is there. You can walk through the entire hotel from Park Avenue to Lexington Avenue along the wall and go through this amazing lobby lounge area, right?
Oh, when you walk in, the clock, it kind of, it symbolizes, the timeliness of the hotel, how timeless it is, right? And you see it, and it anchors the entire Peacock Alley. So you go in there, you order your martinis, you're over there sitting in this beautiful lounge, and then you see the guests, checking in on the side. We did a brand new area where you have the new reception desks now and the concierge desks. So you have a very, very beautiful, refined, sense of arrival. And at the same time, you see the Cole Porter piano, the clock, the new bar.
Yeah, the new bar is pretty impressive.
You saw that, right? And it's just a very open space. So you feel like you are really in a New York living room.
Absolutely, and that's what the Waldorf Astoria has been for years. Now, talk a little bit about your background, because right before this, you actually were general manager of another iconic property for a little while, the Plaza, right?
I was, I've been very, very blessed, I have to say, James. I was at the Plaza Hotel. I really enjoyed another legacy hotel, and sometimes I feel like I had an appetizer at the Plaza and having the entree at the Waldorf Astoria, New York, but this is really the cherry on the cake.
You seem to specialize in iconic properties here in New York, right?
There's something about, feeling like all-world hotelier and managing this type of hotels that really make you feel like, the sense of luxury that is very sentimental, It goes back into the origins of creating, everything super curated and super personalized. And then when you have among all this architecture that is around you, I mean, it just motivates us, the team, and we have an incredible team right now that is really passionate about our hotel.
Well, I wanted to ask you about it. Did a lot of the people somehow come back who had been here before?
Yes, we have been very blessed to also have some wonderful of the team members that they waited for 8 years for us. So we have about, I would say, maybe 100 of them that came back. But at the same time, we also had a lot of new team members as well, including even we went to colleges, to get some very new young graduates that came in from Cornell, from Johnson and Wales, this type of colleges that is kind of blending in into, perhaps the team members they can offer the kind of service and sentimentality of the past, but then with the new energy also the team members, they're so enamored with this hotel. And
it's a name they might have heard of before, right?
Oh my God, they are so proud, and even their parents, their grandparents, everybody's so proud of them working here, right? So everybody has a story about the Waldorf.
I'm working at the Waldorf Astoria in New York. That's not a bad thing to have on your resume.
Hey, you got to see, even in Italy, all my family is so proud of me for being here. Can you imagine?
Let's talk a little. We're in one of the rooms. What are the different categories of rooms and suites that you have pretty much?
Yes, actually, believe it or not, this is it's our deluxe room, our standard. I hate to call it standard because it's 570 square feet. That's our entry-level room, wow, which is the smallest room here that we have here at the Waldorf Astoria. So in doing the renovation and going from 1,400 to 375 rooms, we actually doubled up in size, So, and it also includes some wonderful windows, as you can see here. We doubled up on the windows, so they're very luminous. Pierre-Yves Rochon was our designer, very, very notorious, and he really translated this Art Deco with just very little touches of Art Deco without being stuffy and heavy. It's just very light palette, and it just really flows very well from the closet to when you enter into the hotel, we have a dedicated space for the closet before you even go inside the living room, leaving this area all undisturbed. And then we have, of course, a gorgeous bathroom that you feel like you're in a spa, really, more than a bathroom. It's so pretty.
No, it really is. And I walked around here in this suite. It's a lovely suite. It is large. And what about the other public rooms out there? Obviously, you're last time I was here, you're still restoring some of the ballrooms and some of including the master huge ballroom, which is just amazing.
We are about to reopen, and now I'm so excited because. Waldorf Astoria in New York is that grand ballroom. When you walk into that grand ballroom and you look up and you see those beautiful opera-style balconies, looking down at you, and you see that incredible stage, knowing that everybody has been there, from Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Met Galas, to every president of, in their whole history of the Waldorf have been there at some point or another. First time there was the IBM computer that was launched was there at the Grand Ballroom. It's just incredible.
Well, it is an amazing space, and it really is. You may not see photos of it here because you're still restoring it, but it is really almost like a Broadway. It's bigger than some Broadway theaters, I got to tell you. Plus, you have other things. You mentioned the Ambassador Room, things like that, that have also been restored as well.
It all flows through very well because you can have this sit-down event for 1,200 people, and then you have all the other social areas to do a fabulous reception. So we have 3 other rooms. The Jade, the Basildon, and the Astor, those are all beautiful, and they're all communicating through the Silver Corridor. And when you go to the Silver Corridor, it's like the House of Mirrors at the Versailles Palace. You look up and you see these beautiful frescoes that date all the way actually from the original Waldorf Astoria, New York in 1893.
You had to go behind and find the original frescoes.
Oh, it is just, we had this, there were even 2 people that came in from the Sistine Chapel. They were part of the Sistine Chapel renovation, and they were over here to meticulously put it back together.
That's impressive, like that. So and then you have the dining options, and we're going to be interviewing your partner chef, Michael, who we're going to be interviewing next. But he's got the Lex Yard, a 2-level restaurant that is amazing. I was lucky enough to have a Waldorf salad there. That was right. I felt I had to do that with some oysters.
We had to do the Waldorf salad, but we had to bring it to the new standards, So, back in the days, everything was a little bit richer, So, yes, you had the walnuts, you had the grapes, you had the apples, but you also had the mayonnaise in there, to make that rich flavor. Now we are getting more healthier, So we are we got into more of a lemon dressing.
That's what I had, lemon dressing, not the mayonnaise.
Light, isn't it beautiful?
It was a wonderful salad.
Yeah,
I had to have some oysters too. So that.
That
was. So I felt I had experienced that, and then you have a new Japanese restaurant on the Park Avenue side, which is interesting because as you walk up the stairs, all of a sudden that you emerge into that restaurant, right?
You know, I love Yoshoku. That's the name of the restaurant, which means Western flair Japanese cuisine. And it's really lovely because it is part of the hotel. It's not a dedicated, let's say, themed restaurant, but it's more like a residential style of seating. As soon as you walk in Park Avenue, so you can sit over there and you can have we call it a kaseki style of menu, which is like an omakase, but without being behind a counter. Right. You sit down in a beautiful setting, and then you have like 10 courses coming at you. You can also order a la carte, but you can also have 10 courses coming at you, and the chef, changes the menu all the time, and you just sit over there sampling all these beautiful flavors and presentations, and you're sharing a conversation. Then you never know who's going to come into the world of Astoria. You see them coming up and
you
down.
Want to people watch, that's probably the place to be. And if you don't want to, if you want to people watch elsewhere, you go through Peacock Alley where the clock is, which is really has always been people watching for New York, right?
That's when everybody struts. That's why it's called peacocking. Right. You sit down, have a drink. Imagine, we brought back the Rob Roy, for example. We make the Rob Roy with a cart stable side, and you can actually smoke it under a cloche and with a ginger smoke, and you have this Rob Roy, a classic Rob Roy. And then yes, you look at the people. You never know who's going to walk in front of the clock because. There is some magnetism about that clock. You walk into Waldorf, New York, and everybody goes through that clock. And you're there having a drink and say, oh, there he is.
And you can also have light bites and breakfast from Chef Michael as well in Peacock Alley as well.
Michael is one of our incredible partners. Become such an avid ambassador of our hotel and our brand, and he's always here. Michael Anthony, you see him. I think at any given time you'll probably see him.
I already did. I saw him every time I walk. I was here today. I was today.
I was having a sandwich. Made me the most beautiful Reuben sandwich today, and he was over there. So Michael, he just loves the hotel too.
No, it's great. I'm gonna have to come back and try some of this other food, and also try the Japanese restaurant as well, because it is. And we're talking about that entrance. You have this incredible mosaic as you're walking in, and then all these murals right at the top of the stairs from Park Avenue. It's an amazing.
That is exactly it. I think the whole intention was with the hotel. When you walk in here, he already tells you you enter into some places very special. So you come in and you already feel it. This got this beautiful mosaic. It's called the Wheel of Life from Louis Rigal. Was this incredible artist, and he painted 148,000 pieces of mosaic to really depict the story of somebody's life, and the celebration of life. And then as you look up, you see all these beautiful murals, and it just really, really welcomes you into this place that is so opulent and so special and so grand, It really sets the tone for what is about to come, which is eventually is going to be the Peacock Alley, which is beautiful.
It is absolutely, and then you can all the way back to Lex Yard and to the other restaurants. So
it's a little bit of a journey. You go around. I have people actually just walk around and they just explore and look around and see all the details on the walls and in the ceilings. Actually, I was thinking about coming up with a little bit of a discovery, kind of like a journey to really point out,
because there's so much artwork and everything else that I think people are. I could see people walking around it now that are just astounded. Now, let's close by asking, we go out to about 125,000 travel advisors in the U.S. and Canada. A lot of them sell luxury. A lot of them think they know the Waldorf. What do you want to tell them about the Waldorf Astoria in New York now?
Well, I have to say that we are back. We always say that New York is not New York without Waldorf Astoria, New York, and in here we are. It is an incredible restoration, beautiful rooms, beautiful food and beverage experience. But most of all, we have a lot of the soft touches. We have an incredible staff that is eager and so enthusiastic about the hotel. So we create a lot of surprise and delights. So it's not just about checking into the hotel, having a wonderful meal. We have a spa that is coming up. It's going to be the wellness.
That's to come. I have to come back and take a look at
the Guerlain Spa. Is going to be arguably the best spa in New York City. I mean, it's just incredible, right? But the staff is just amazing. I've been getting so many compliments about the delivery of the service. And as a hotelier, to me, that is the most important. It's when the travel agent calls me and they say, rest assured that my team not only create an exceptional experience, but it's going to provide something above and beyond where your client is going to say, oh my gosh, they really understood me, and that really made a special, it was very, very special for me and my family.
And of course, that's really the most important, is how you're received on the staff. Now, where can travel advisors go, anywhere public, to go to see more information about the Waldorf Astoria New York, the website, things like that?
Yes, we have an incredible website. It's we call it our vanity site, and it's a Waldorf Astoria NewYork.com. So make sure you add the NewYork.com so you really get into it's very editorial. You see, you get to really kind of navigate through the website and find out everything that we have to offer, and it's definitely worth a visit, and it's going to be tempting you right away to book.
Well, Luigi, I want to thank you for taking the time. I know it's a busy time for you, and you're still working on this as we introduce the project, and there's more to come with the spa and everything else. Just from walking around, it is a fabulous property, and congratulations to you and your team. And I'm sure a lot of travel advisors are going to come here and see how great a job you've done. Again, thanks so much.
Thank you, James, I appreciate it. And I welcome everyone of our travel friends anytime. Thank you.
I'm James Schillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.